What's up guys, it's AC Omega and today I will talk about the next Call of Duty game. So I was thinking about Treyarch and how they could give us, the players, a brand new zombies experience that will be innovative and satisfying. So like I just said, I will talk about the zombies mode. Maybe I will talk about multiplayer and campaign in another video, but not today. Before we go right into my list, I quickly wanted to say that there are a lot of things that could be in this list, but I only have a few points that I'm gonna touch on. So there's absolutely room for more ideas and brainstorming in general. So definitely let me know after the video what you want to see. But yeah, with that being said, I would like to give you my few thoughts about Black Ops 4. Let's begin with the matchmaking. Now, I don't want to complain about it, to be honest, the matchmaking is fine. But how about one lobby for Easter eggs and one for classic gameplay? Think about it, there is always someone who wants to do the Easter egg. They have Easter egg in their clan tag and just search for lobbies that are willing to do the egg. Of course you could bring up that you should do the Easter eggs with your friends, but there are players who don't have friends that can do the Easter eggs with them. Maybe they have friends, but they don't have time. Or maybe they are looking for a challenge and think it would be nice to do the Easter egg with people that I don't know. So let's see how it goes. And I can tell you something, it's absolutely satisfying to actually finish a Easter egg in a public game. You just play and have a good time and maybe you become friends with the other players. On the other hand, you would still have your classic mode, where players can jump into the map and play for fun. A game where you can go for high rounds or whatever you want, but without someone who leaves after round 3 because you did not help to press a button to activate the first step of an Easter egg. So like I said, give us a lobby for Easter eggs and one for classic gameplay. But to be fair, this could lead to some matchmaking problems later in the future. Especially after the game's life cycle, when there's only a small player base left. So it could get more difficult to find a lobby then. But regardless, I would definitely like to see something like this implemented in the next Treyarch game. Another thing that I would like to see are different crews. So you know our premise crew, right? Richthofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey? And you know the Victis or Transit crew? Now imagine they give us a map where we play as the Transit crew and then DLC 1 comes out and we play as Dempsey, Richthofen, Misty and Stuhlinger. Could you imagine the amount of dialogue that these characters would have? I would like to see a conversation between Misty and Dempsey about killing zombies. Or maybe a conversation between a drunk Nikolai and Russman for DLC 2. Who knows? Maybe one of the characters dies in DLC 2 and the group reforms once again to get prepared for DLC 3. There are so many possibilities for these different crews and it would definitely be a great step forward for the storyline in general. Because if you read the comics, you can see that they already have met. Kind of. And I have a feeling that we will see the transit characters again in the next game. I also would really like to see a storyline that is more inconsistent. What I mean by that is, in Black Ops 3 we knew after DLC 1 what would happen for the rest of the game. Get the souls for all 4 characters and you know, do something important in DLC 4. The same thing has been done with Infinite Warfare Zombies. Get all soul keys and wait for DLC 4. And I'm a bit concerned that we will see something similar with World War II Zombies. I really hope that we don't need to collect all pieces of the hilt for the DLC maps. Anyways, what I would like to see is something that surprises you. Maybe a whole new plot twist, maybe dying characters. Just give us something that will blow our mind. Moving on to customization. I want for Treyarch's next game weapon kits for DLC guns. This might not be a big deal for a lot of players, but I mean it's kinda annoying when you use a DLC gun. The guns are not as good as the Black Ops 3 weapons because you can't put on attachments. Of course there are some weapons out there that are still pretty strong and unique like the Rift E9 or the Marshall 16s. But I feel like Treyarch really misses out with weapon customization. Even World War II has weapon kits for DLC guns. Speaking of weapons, why not add different variants? Sure, you had in Black Ops 3 already different weapon part variants, but to be honest, they really did not much for me. Maybe besides a few exceptions. And just don't mention that you had to unlock like 4 or 5 different weapon parts so that your gun looked different. I mean, come on, how looks your gun different with this epic fast mag attachment? I don't see a difference. So there's definitely room for improvement. And the last thing that I would like to see concerning weapons is more gun variety for the maps. Now, I don't want to complain about Treyarch because they already did a great job adding DLC guns in zombies maps. For example, I love playing Setsubo no Shima just so I can use the Marshall 16s, or Guard Crowy so I can use the PPSH. Different guns for different maps are great because they help to give maps more replayability, and that's overall the most important thing. Like I said, they already did a great job in Black Ops 3 and especially with Chronicles, and I hope they will continue with this in the next game. Next on my wishlist, I want a new game mode. Bring back Grief mode or give us something completely new. Give us a game mode that is limited, so you can just join a game and play for like an hour. Some people don't have the time to play for 2 or 3 hours per game, and if you don't want to dashboard, then a new game mode would be a great option. Maybe a 4 vs 4 player madness, maybe something competitive, who knows, just give us something new. However, as much as I would like to see a new game mode, I don't exactly see it happening. Because Treyarch did really focus on the story in the latest game, and I feel like they will continue this trend. At least with the main maps. See, Jason Blundell gives us maps and a big playground, but we are not supposed to just play and have fun on this playground. No, I feel like they are here so they can tell a story about our 4 characters and their journey. And if we would mess around in a 4 vs 4 game mode with nameless characters, that would not live up to the maps. Jason Blundell's maps are somewhat an art. Crazy to say that, I know, but a lot of these maps are masterpieces if you ask me. And yeah, I feel like if they give us a new game mode, they will give us a separate map. Similar to the survival map in World War II Zombies, just a bit bigger. An area that is somewhat connected to the actual map, but where you can mess around without any storyline correlations. But yeah, please give us a new game mode, because more choices give us more freedom. Another thing that I would like to see is no dashboarding. This point will probably get a lot of hate, but I will explain it anyways. I'm okay with dashboarding, but I want that you lose your gobblegums every time you do it. Oh, and yes, by the way, I think they will continue with gobblegums, and there's nothing we can do about it. Anyways, I hate it if someone uses a Perkaholic on round 2, gets down on round 5 and leaves the game. I have used a Perkaholic maybe 5 times, and some of the ultra rare gobblegums I have never used at all. Why? Because I don't want to lose them and I don't need them. However, I don't have a problem with people who use them. Gobblegums are in general a great innovation, if we forget about the microtransactions. Now listen, I want that you lose your nice little Perkaholics every time you use them, but I also want to get more gobblegums in-game. Not just 2 or 3 liquid dividiums per game. No, of course, they should give us more, enough so that we can all use at least a few gobblegums per game. And enough to have a bunch of the ultra rare gobblegums for Easter eggs or high rounds. See, my main problem are people who dashboard, because most of the time your game ends. And this is just not fun. What happened to survive as long as you can? What happened to clutching the round? Everything that I see are people who leave the game as soon as they go down. It's quite sad, to be honest. I mean, if you really want to leave the game, sure, you should be able to do that, and you should be able to keep your XP. I'm looking at you, Sledgehammer. But just don't dashboard every time you play. It's also not fair for high rounds. Where's the point to get to a high round when you use 20 or 30 raindrops? Sure, raindrops are fun, but they are the most broken gobblegum out there. After round robin, of course. So I think you should not be able to keep them if you close the app. Use them, go as far as you can, and die with honor. But I understand that a lot of people probably feel different about that. And I can at least respect that. Gobblegums give players more ways to play the game and they can make it more fun. And finally, I really want a satisfying ending for our characters. Of course, we will see our Primus crew again in some way, shape or form, and for a lot of new players this might not be a big deal. But our zombie story and crew is when Black Ops 4 comes out, 10 years old, and I just hope they will finish it. I mean, there are some players that grew up with this game. Some have been playing since World at War, and some have already moved on with their lives. And I feel like Treyarch owns them, the hardcore fans, to end this great storyline. Once and for all. We have seen a lot of great maps and we all have experienced a lot of enjoyment while playing the maps with our friends. The characters, the music, the mystery and the nostalgia. It needs to come to an end, like everything in life, but at least go out with a bang. No more cliffhangers, no more excuses. Kill Monty, save the children and the universe and enjoy your retirement premise. You well deserved it after all these years. But yeah, that's it. My wishlist for the next Treyarch game. I think I mentioned everything. Oh yeah, there's one last thing that I want to see. A badass subtitle. Black Ops 4 would be a bit boring. How about Call of Duty Black Ops Apocalypse or Black Ops One Last Chapter? Maybe you have a cool subtitle, let me know in the comments and definitely let me know your wishlist for the next Call of Duty game. I would really like to see your ideas. But yeah, thanks for watching and I see you next time.